We're going to go Boltstorm for the knockout. We were able to do 270 damage to that ZACIAN V. You are now watching Lesage, the best place to learn about competitive Pokemon TCG. Let's get it! Yo, what's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel, Lesage here. Today we're going to be covering over one of my favorite decks from the set, Boltund VMAX. So I recently kind of went over this deck as an early deck list, but we're going to be able to see some gameplay in this video. Boltund is an awesome Pokemon that can do a lot of damage for a lot of energies, so if you're new to the game or you're looking for a really big beat-them-up deck, I think that this is a great deck to choose. The deck list is in the description, so feel free to copy and paste it right into PTCGO. With that being said, let's look at this deck list. So here we have it, Boltund VMAX. So Boltund VMAX is very similar to Boltund V. You have Boltstorm that does 30 damage plus 30 more damage for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon. If you think you're having deja vu, you might be, because Boltund V also has Boltstorm, but it does 10 damage plus 30 more damage for each lightning energy attached to all of your Pokemon. So you might be wondering, yo Zach, why is this deck seeing success now instead of before? And first and foremost, I'm gonna say that Boltund VMAX seems really cool. It's nice to have a lightning type attacker, and I'm not entirely sure how good it is going to be. It's one of those things where I think Boltstorm is good enough to give this deck some kind of merit. Let's see exactly if it plays well. And that's really where I'm at. Will it find a spot in the metagame? Yeah, I think it could be a top 10 deck. Is it going to be number 1? Not unless, of course, Inteleon VMAX becomes the new meta, in my opinion. But, of course, we will discover that in this video today. So, the reason why we play Boltund VMAX now, and why we didn't really play Boltund V before, well, we did play Boltund V. I did play it in my Players Cup 2 winning deck list. It's really good for Electrify, but in terms of Boltstorm, we can now have extra HP, so maybe we can actually survive an attack, keep those energies in play longer. Boltstorm does minimal and extra damage, but you want to wet through cards like Vitality Band, Muscle Band, Single Strike Energy. The difference between 1, 2, or even 3 damage counters really adds up a lot. You can see I've been actively trading some stuff. Awesome. It's one of those things where Boltund VMAX, it's cool. You have the new Flaaffy. I mean, you could play the other Flaaffy as well. You don't have to go all bling out like your boy. Flaaffy has Dynamotor, and it allows you to get energies back from your discard pile, attach them to your bench Pokemon. So you have a way to accelerate energies to this Pokemon. We certainly have a lot of the lightning energies. We also have we have a few of the speed lightning energies. The reason why we only play 2 of these instead of playing 4 of these is because speed lightning energy allows you to draw cards. That's great, but you can't get them back with Flaaffy because they only count as lightning energies when you attach them down from your hand. So it's one of those things where it's not always necessary, whatever. We have Zekrom as a single prize card attacker, so maybe we could go 3 prize card attacker, 1 prize card attacker, 3 prize card attacker. We have ways to do stuff like that. You could paralyze your opponent's Pokemon, and if they don't play switch, you can kind of bop them up or use it as a turn to build up extra energies with the Flaaffy that you have. The cool thing that I've added into this deck since my early deck list is Zinnia's Resolve. So you get to play this card as long as you discard 2 cards from your hand. So I did have troubles before discarding lightning energies from my hand. I think that the Zinnias really helps out with that. And you can get those back with Flaaffy, so that allows you to accelerate energies. And you get to draw a bunch of cards for your opponent's Pokemon in play. I think Zinnia's Resolve seems really cool in a deck like this. So we're going to try out the build with 4. We also have Stormy Mountains, which is a great way to build up our lightning Pokemon on our bench. Overall, I think this deck list is awesome, and it should be a very strong way to build Boltund VMAX. My other idea for this deck is maybe doing a Cram-O-Matic build, which allows you to discard a card as well. That might end up being better. I'm not entirely sure, but we'll see how the Zinnia's version goes in this video right now. Let's jump into some gameplay. So we're gonna call the coin flip. We lost the coin flip. It's tough because we'd like to go first with this deck in order to get set up, but we can go turn 1 Electrify now, so it's not the worst. We do have a way, like with this deck, it's a built-in mechanism in order to just like kind of get around that first turn or something like that. Now we do have to watch out for our opponent just going turn 1 Intrepid Sword, getting an energy, and yeah, we're already put on the back burner there, but we might be able to get set up here, and that's something that like we'll try our best for sure. We are just going to attach there, go Marnie, see if we can get set up here. And I mean, we did get Stormy Mountain, so I'm really not too upset about that. Let's go ahead, Stormy Mountain it up, search our deck. Let's see if there's any other pieces that we want to grab here. We do have Flaaffy prize, not really the biggest lost, couple energies, but that's why we play so many. Let's go for Electrify, grabbing these energies, and we're gonna put them both onto the Boltund V. Now, fingers crossed that they aren't actually able to knock us out, although I do think it is going to be quite possible for them to knock out this Boltund VMAX. In the active spot, there's an energy. Now, yeah, this is really where Turbo ZACIAN is just a difficult matchup to deal with in general, especially when they go first. Like, there's nothing that any other deck could have gone. I could have been playing an Inteleon deck, a Mew deck. If they're knocking out our V before we do anything, it is difficult for us to worry about. But we do have access to a new hand now. Our opponent definitely gave us some opportunities there to get some new cards. We also have access to Boltund V, another energy. Maybe we get a Boltund VMAX. Boltund VMAX can certainly kind of get around that Brave Blade damage output. So that's something that we got to consider here as well. So there's that knockout there for our opponent. Hopefully they don't find Switch, Air Balloon, or anything else like that. Let's put this Boltund V up. We really want to find the Boltund VMAX this turn. They probably play enough switching cards to really make it worthwhile. So I don't think that this Zekrom's going to super matter. But we'll see how we can make it all happen. Let's grab another Boltund V out here. I don't know why I grabbed a Boltund V there. I totally should have grabbed the Mareep, but that's okay. We're going to put another Boltund V. Maybe we'll just get out all of the Boltund Vs. Let's go for Marnie again. So let's try to get set up a little bit. So no energies there for us is going to be difficult, but we do have those lightning energies in our discard pile, so that's okay. Let's go for an Evolution Incense, search our deck for a Flaaffy, and we can get set up next turn. It's really not the biggest loss because we weren't getting the knockout this turn anyways. So double Evolution Incense, really not that bad. And are we going to be able to use Zinnias next turn? Zinnias isn't going to get us that many cards, so I'm going to go ahead here and pitch the Zinnias away for another Mareep, just in case they decide to do anything spooky. There's our Flaaffy, Dynamotor, grab the energy, power up the Boltunds, and we are doing turn 2 100 damage. So making, or 120 actually, it's 30 plus 30. I'm used to this Boltund V in my Players Cup winning Peeker deck, doing 10 plus 30. So I still need to get used to the Boltund's Bolt Storm. We are 1 energy away from getting a knockout on the ZACIAN V now. They could play Crystal Cave, which could, literally as I'm saying it, get the knockout, but that's okay. We could go for a gigantic Bolt Storm knockout. Oh, and they are just going to go for the full retreat. Now, we can build up quite a few energies with this deck next turn, so we do want to keep that in mind as we play out. If they're not going to go ahead and attack us, we could be in a great spot. Maybe they will attack us, maybe they won't, but we just have to knock through 3 of their V Pokemon. They still have to knock out a Boltund VMAX and a Boltund V. That's what we're going to try to force our opponent to do here. Maybe they'll knock out Boltund VMAX and knock out Flaaffy, but we'll try to find some ways. And the more Pokemon they play, the better our Zinnias is going to get. So our goal is just to get as many energies in play as possible and really just get set up there. Our setup's pretty ideal, besides kind of prizing a Flaaffy and our opponent just getting pretty much everything they ever could have asked for. But that's okay. You want to know what? We are going to Marnie them. Their Crushing Hammer certainly is annoying for us to deal with. I'm not entirely sure how many energies we need to get the knockout now. We can attach 2 energies. So really not going to be great. We can attach 3 energies. 3 plus 2 is 150. We can do 180. So I think we actually can get enough energies to get the knockout, which would be really cool. We need to get another Flaaffy out. I am going to put Air Balloon on this Pokemon just to try to heal. Let's go for Marnie here and see what we can get going on. I actually think we might have got it, which is the funny parts. Could be wrong. We'll see totally how it works out. Flaaffy, boom. Let's go Evolution Incense, search our deck for a Boltund VMAX. And let's be sure to like just power up this Pokemon. So we're able to power up a lot of energies. So we're gonna power up this energy on the Boltund VMAX. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna go ahead, power up this other energy on this Boltund V. We're gonna go ahead and go Speed Lightning Energy. So we are going to go ahead and go retreat here. Retreat, and we're going to go Bolt Storm for the knockout, doing 180 damage, lots of energies, big attack out of nowhere. The Professor's research is great there because we could actually discard all those lightning energies and power them up with Flaaffy's Dynamotor. So our opponent who's already down a Metal Saucer might not necessarily be able to build up enough energies to get the Boltund VMAX out, and next turn we could go ahead and attach another 3 energies and get the knockout. So depending on how they really play things out, we could be in a great spot if they don't get Crushing Hammer out, that is. So far, like, so good. We're in a pretty good spot so far. It's one of those things where Boltund VMAX coming back, doing a lot of damage, but that's all this deck really does. You're going to be doing the same thing against any deck. Of course, there's Rapid Strike energy. Rapid Strike, Urshifu, Single Strike, Urshifu. Sylveon plays Rapid Strike, Urshifu as well. Fighting type Pokemon are going to be a difficult thing for this deck. But we could be in a good enough spot where, like, we just build up enough energies in play and get knockouts on whatever they have in play. That's really the goal when it comes to this deck. We'll see how our opponent plays it out on their side. Oh, and they're just going to sacrifice Oranguru to us. That's fine. Maybe if we could get Boss's Orders, we could knock out the Crobat, but I don't think we necessarily are going to be able to get that. Zinnia's, I think, is a better opportunity for us to kind of deal with things here. So let's go ahead and go Zinnia's. We're going to go ahead and pitch some of these energies. Now we have a bunch of things that we could do next turn. Now, we want to evolve all of our VMAX Pokemon so we have the most HP. Like, I think what our opponent can do is just go Boss's Orders stuff. We don't want to make it really easy for them to use Boss's Orders. We just want to kind of get set up with some stuff. So let's go ahead here and just build up some energies and play. We have all of the things on our Boltunds, but let's go ahead and try to add 3 on all of our Boltunds. In general, I think that sounds like a pretty good idea, just in case they get a Crushing Hammer off. I am going to leave the energy off that one because I think that one is going to be quite a target for our opponents. Let's go ahead and attach an energy to this Flaaffy. So you can see we're, like, swinging for a lot of damage. So we're going to go Bolt Storm here. If our opponent does not take a prize card this turn, I think we win the game automatically, which is really cool. And I mean, I think they're going to be playing Boss's Orders. Like, let's be really real. I think they're going to be playing Boss's Orders this game and using Boss's Orders on this Boltund VMAX. That's the big scary thing that they can do. We might need to go Boss's Orders against their ZACIAN V, get a knockout on that. But, like, so far, so good. Our opponent has some ways around to get Boss's Orders. Yeah, there's their Boss's Orders. That's going to knock out the Boltund VMAX. They're a Boss's Orders away from winning this game because this is going to be 3 prize cards, but we are going to throw a Pokemon worth more than 1 prize card in their face and try to get around it because we're not really worried about the Zamazenta V at this point. We could just really take out that with a Boltund V or maybe something else or whatever. We will have enough energies in play where we can kind of get knockouts on their other Pokemon. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're about to add a 7th energy. We need 1 more energy, actually, so it might be a little bit difficult for us to get set up, but we'll see. We can always knock out the Crobat as well. Nothing really matters. Let's send up the one with 3 energies, just so our opponent has a little bit of a more difficult time to get the knockout. And of course, we have to get the energy. That's sick. So there's a Flaaffy. At this point, there's really not much else that we're looking for. Like, we're just going to go Boss's Orders on this Pokemon. Hope our opponent does not have another Boss's Orders. That's what's going to be really tough. If they just have Boss's Orders, they win the game. And you know what? I'm cool with that. This deck can totally miss a turn. It happens to every other deck. We literally can win the game next turn if our opponent does not have a Boss's Orders. So let's go ahead here and go Max Bolt. Or not Max Bolt. We're going to go Bolt Storm for the knockout. We were able to do 270 damage to that ZACIAN V. And we have an energy, and we have access to a Stormy Mountain. So I'm pretty good about this. We did lose our other Boltund, so we do need another Boss's Orders. Yeah, they are going to go Boss's Orders and take the dub, but we were really close to winning this game. Boltund VMAX being pretty effective. Obviously, the turn 1 Intrepid Sword, turn 2 knockout was tough for us to deal with. So after playing with Boltund VMAX for a little bit, I do think that it is quite good. The only issues are that your opponent could be faster than you, or maybe they can get more damage in play with less energies. So Boltund is very energy reliant. It might just be better to be playing something like Shadow Rider or something more turbo, such as Turbo Zacian, Mew VMAX. But Boltund VMAX is quite good if there is not really a lot of fighting in the metagame, And of course, Inteleon VMAX and other Lightning Pokemon are just kind of up. So if Suicune and Inteleon start going like this, Boltund's probably going to follow it as well. So it's a viable Lightning type option. There's not really too many in this format. So just want to give you that it is an option, although I don't necessarily think it's going to be a top tier deck. I think that it's going to be about a tier 2, my body doesn't want to let me say it out. Tier 2, tier 2.5. So I'm a big Boltund fan. It is one of those things where it just doesn't necessarily live up to the hype for everyone. As seen in this video, we were a little bit short, but we were able to come back relatively quickly. I do think Zinnia's Resolve is really good in this deck, so let me know what you think about the deck. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more great Fusion Strike content. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Peace out, and have a great day. I truly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It means the world to me. And my goal with this channel is to spread my love of the game and knowledge with our entire Pokemon TCG community. If you haven't already, help signal boost this video to other Pokemon TCG fans by liking it, sharing it with your friends, and subscribing to the channel. Hopefully we reach our goals really soon. Check out this recommended video, and have yourself a great day. Thanks.